Hello, everybody. So we are still multiplying two rational expressions, but now we are shifting from monomials to polynomials, which don't be afraid, you guys. It's really not that much different. Okay, so the same steps apply. We must factor the numerators and the denominators. We factor every single numerator and every single denominator. Okay, so again, if you're looking here and you already know how to factor that thing, you need to go ahead and pause the video and factor all of these items. Okay? All right, so let's look here. Okay, we're going to be factoring all the pieces, which I numbered this fraction as 1 and this fraction as 2. Okay, so I'm going to be factoring the first fraction's numerator here and the denominator here. And I'm going to be factoring the second fraction's numerator here and denominator here, just to kind of keep it spread out. All right, as in our final answer, we're going to have two things that are divided and are multiplied. But we should end up with 4 parentheses in all of these. Okay, we should have 4 parentheses, or 2 parentheses, I guess, in each numerator and denominator. Okay, so after we factor all 4 of these, we should end up with 2 parentheses in the numerators and denominators. So let's see what happens. All right, so this one has 3 terms. What's the factoring technique we use when we have 3 terms? Holy hot dog, you guys are so smart. This one's going to be slide and divide, which I'm going to abbreviate with S and D. Okay, this one we got 2 terms and we're subtracting. So let's think about what factoring technique could be used on this one. Oh man, you guys are so smart. This one is a difference of squares because we are subtracting with 2 terms and we can square root each of these. So I'm going to abbreviate with difference of squares, DOS. Alright, this one's got 3 terms, so like over here, we're going to do slide and divide. And this one has 2 terms and we're subtracting, and I can square root each of these, so this one's also a difference of squares. Okay, so if you guys know how to do slide and divide and a difference of squares, I would go ahead and factor all the numerators and your denominators and write your answer right here. Otherwise, watch the video and I'll tell you how to do it. Okay, so starting with our very first one, we have x squared minus 2x minus 8. Alright guys, let's get this show on the road. Alright, we're going to slide our a to our c, which a is secretly a 1. So I'm going to slide 1 to negative 8, which will give me negative 8. So that's our AC. And remember, we want 2 numbers that multiply to be AC and 2 numbers that add to be b, which my b is the number in front of the x, which is negative 2. And don't forget, you guys, our final answer, we're going to have x's in our answer, and we divide by what we slide by. We divided by a, so we slide by a, which means we divide by a. So eventually, we're going to divide by 1. All right, guys, let's get this factoring train on the road. Let's go. All right, so 2 numbers that multiply to be negative 8 and add to be negative 2. I don't even know why I teach. You guys are so smart. You just blew it out of the park. All right, so it is negative 4 and 2. And remember, you guys, these are the numbers that go in my parenthesis. So I'm going to put my minus 4 in here and my plus 2 over here. All right, so let's simplify. Then we'll be done factoring the first piece. So 4 over 1 is still 4, so this is x minus 4. And 2 over 1 is 2, so this is x plus 2. All right, so I'm going to write that in my first spot, my first one. So my first numerators are x minus 4 and x plus 2. Awesome. All right, so let's shift to the denominator. So this one we're going to do a difference of squares on it. All right, so remember our difference of squares. Okay, the formula says a squared minus c squared. So we have 2 perfect squares and we're subtracting. You simply add the a and c and subtract them. Okay, so we must find our a and our c value. So let's get going on that. So our a value, we square root the first term, so our 9x squared. And the c term, we square root the second term, but we ignore the negative. All right, so 9x squared, the square root of that is 3x. And the square root of 16 is 4. So all I gotta do to factor it is add my a and c. So this is my a term, and this is my c term. So my a term plus my c term would be 3x plus 4, and my a minus my c term would be 3x minus 4. Awesome, right? Awesome. So that is the denominator of my first fraction. 3x plus 4 and 3x minus 4. Holy hot dog, right? Alright, so this fraction, you guys, has slide and divide and difference of squares again. So if you're kind of getting how to do slide and divide and difference of squares, I highly recommend that you try these without my help. You guys learn more when you do it on your own and not just like kind of watch me, not trying to take it in and just watch the steps. Okay, if you know what you're doing, if you're watching the video and you're like, I already know how to do this, you don't need to watch it anymore. Pause the video. Okay, but anyways, let's keep going. So let's factor the numerator over here. So we have 3x squared plus 10x plus 8. Okay, you guys, so we slide our a to our c. So 3 times 8 is 24. And don't forget, you guys, in our final answer, we're going to have x's in there. And don't forget, we divide by what we slide by. We slide the a, which is 3, which means we're going to divide by the a, which is 3. Okay? So now we need two numbers that multiply to be 24 and two numbers that add to be our b, which our b value is the number in front of the x, which is 10. Alright, guys, so two numbers that multiply to be 24 and add to be 10. Let's see. I figured it out. Sorry, guys, it took me a second. I'm sure you already knew what it was. 6 and 4. Bam. Okay, so 6 and 4 multiply to be 24 and add to be 10. So this is a positive 6, so in here I'm going to put plus 6. And this is a positive 4, so in here I'm going to put plus 4. Alright, the last step is to simplify. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we have x plus 2. And then 4 over 3 doesn't simplify, but I cannot have a fraction in factored form. So we need to move that 3 to the front. So this is going to be 3x plus 4. Alright, so this goes in the numerator of my second fraction. Bam. So x plus 2 and 3x plus 4. Alright, guys, last up we gotta factor the denominator. We're gonna do a difference of squares. Difference of squares. So x squared minus 16. Okay, so remember our formula says a squared minus c squared equals our a term plus our c term, and our a term minus our c term. So let's find our a and our c. So our a, we square root the first term, and our c, we square root the second term. So my first term is an x squared. And my second term, we ignore the negative and square root that number. So we're going to square root 16. All right, the square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 16 is 4. Okay, guys, so all I have to do is add my a term and my c term, which would be x plus 4. And then I do a term minus c term. So I take my a and subtract the c. So x minus 4. Bam, that one's factored. So I'm going to write that in the denominator of fraction 2. X plus 4 and x minus 4. Let me double check to make sure all my factors are written correctly. Good, good, and good. Yay. All right, so we have conquered the first step, which is factoring the numerator and denominator. The rest of the steps don't take very long, you guys. So now we multiply straight across. We multiply our numerators together and our denominators together. Okay, so what we're left with, basically, you guys, when we multiply straight across, we're just going to be writing all these factors over one fraction. So I got x minus 4 times x plus 2. I'm basically going to write all the numerators I have and then all the denominators I have. So then I'm going to write x plus 2 and 3x plus 4. Alright, now I'm going to write all the denominators. So 3x plus 4, 3x minus 4, x plus 4, and x minus 4. Nice. Okay, so again, when you multiply straight across, basically just list all the factors up top in the numerator and all the factors of the denominator down below. Bam. That step is donezo. Bam. Okay, now we're going to divide out the common factors in the numerator and the denominator. So we're looking for things that are alike in the numerator and the denominator. I'm not asking for things alike in the numerator or things alike in the denominator because we're trying to get things to cancel out. Which if you have the same thing in the numerator, you guys, it's not going to cancel anything out. So I'm looking for things that are alike in both the numerator and denominator. So let's see what happens. Okay, I have x minus 4 here, and holy hot dog, do you guys see an x minus 4 here? So that one will cancel out. All right, an x plus 2 here. I know I have another x plus 2 in the numerator, but those two don't cancel. They only cancel if you divide by the same thing. So I don't see any other x plus 2s. So my x plus 2s are going to stay. Okay, so my final answer, I'm going to have x plus 2. And guys, since I have two x plus 2s, I can simplify that to x plus 2 squared. All right, and then my 3x plus 4. Holy hot dog, I spot one in the denominator. Look at that. Bam, bam. So it cancels out. All right, so all I'm left with now are my x plus 2s I wrote here. In the denominator, I'm left with 3x minus 4 and x plus 4. So I'm going to write those down. 3x minus 4, this one, and x plus 4. So we've gotten all those written down now. All right, guys, on the last step, reduce the fraction if possible. Well, guess what, you guys? I can't reduce this down anymore. So guess what? This would be my final answer. Wasn't that exciting, you guys? I had so much fun.